visitor center for Joshua Tree. We're gonna roll in before we make some breakfast. Joshua Tree Visitor Center is right there. We're rocking a little cook setup. We're about to get some eggs and sausage running, and Macy's getting the kettle ready for coffee. The sausage crisping up. Macy's gonna make the eggs.
Just on the side?
Just dump them in. And all the way. Here's what we're working with for breakfast. Just a little sausage, egg scramble of sorts. And Macy's trying to get this new kettle working for coffee.
All right, water's boiled and we got the Stanley cooking with gas.
We have our breakfast, we have our coffees. And not the best view of the Joshua Tree area, but a view nonetheless.
We have just made it to the west entrance of Joshua Tree. I think we're just gonna fill up on water right up here and then take a little hour-long loop around the park. We may get out, but we're not entirely sure if we feel safe to get
Some
out.
spicy noodles out there that I'm a little bit worried about. I don't want them biting my dogs, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right here at Joshua Tree National Park. This place is so beautiful. Bunch of Joshua trees, bunch of brush.
So we've pulled off onto another little side of the road just because it's so beautiful. All these rocks make me think of the movie Cars. Couldn't tell you why, but...
It's 11:45 a.m. We are driving through the Mojave Preserve on our way to Death Valley, and we're going to hopefully get to Death Valley at a decent hour and be able to crank out a quick visit there. Apparently you can't use your car AC because it's so hot and dusty, and it's the hottest place on earth, and it's June, so we don't want to overstay our welcome. So we're going to go there, hopefully see as much as we can, and then either stay at the campsite that we have planned just outside of Death Valley, or maybe try to extend the trek and get closer to Sequoia.
Riker and I were driving. We thought we saw a casino, and we were going to go check it out to kill some time while we had some service, but instead it is this alien fresh jerky place. No idea what it is, but we think it's some sort of... It's obviously beef jerky, but it's some sort of like store with eclectic things. So we're about to go in and see what random stuff we can find in this small town
Of Baker, California.
Baker, California, yeah. They're also building whatever spaceship, mothership thing this is behind the place.
About an hour 24 from Death Valley, and it's already 106 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And the weather said it was like 90 at Death Valley and cloudy.
I don't believe it.
We don't know if we believe it, but we're really still hoping that that's the case by the time we get there.
We have made it to the
We made it to Death Valley.
entrance of Death Valley, yeah. Here we go. So we're driving around here, and gosh, this place is, it's so cool, but it also just feels like we're on a different planet. It feels kind of creepy in some ways, the way it's just open and there's nothing out here, and it's so hot and desolate. I don't know. It's very cool though. We're intrigued to see a lot more of this place.
So me and Macy are trekking up this thing. It's called Zabriskie Point, and it's essentially just a steep but really quick overlook out here to see the Badlands. Just came from that road down there, and here's this view at Zabriskie Point. I think there might be some salt flats way down there.
The terrain just changed drastically with all of that though. It's crazy. All these palm trees, and there's there's an inn that you can stay in here.
We are arriving at the visitor center, and it looks fairly similar to the inn. Maybe not as bougie, but oh, that actually is some sort of town hall. And wow, this place is very unique.
So random.
Just kidding. This is the visitor center, I think, and it's a little ghetto compared to the inn and the town hall, but I guess it does the trick. Just kidding. This is the visitor center. Here's the Furnace Creek Visitor Center at Death Valley, and it is allegedly 111 degrees out here. But it's a dry heat, so it's really not that bad. Got this mug for 10 bucks, and this sticker for $1.50. We are currently headed to the lowest point in North America at 282 feet below sea level. And that's pretty much what it looks like from here. We're only 7 miles out. We've made it to the lowest point of North America. That's crazy looking. Actually, believe it or not, there's water flowing right here. So that's insane. It's actually so freaking hot. It's like at least 111 degrees. And it's a really hot wind blowing through. So it's draining. And we're going to get out of here. We have about a 3.5 hour drive to our campsite. But first we're going to go check out Artist View and see some colored mountains, I think. And it's Artist Palette. And here's how it looks.
Northern America, Rainbow Mountain, if you will. These are the Mesquite Dunes. We're driving. Have we actually left the park yet? No, we're still in Death Valley, but these are some pretty cool dunes out there.
Just saw a sign on the side of the road that says avoid overheating and turn off your AC for the next 20 miles. So we're doing it just to be safe.
We're still gonna overheat.
But we might personally overheat. So this is gonna be brutal. 20 minutes is, or 20 miles is probably like 20 minutes out here. So if there's any more content after this, we survived. After some quick math, we decided it wasn't worth it. It's 100 out here. Earlier we were in like 112. So, and the temperature of the car is right in the middle. So I think we're okay, but we will update you if for some reason Mila overheats and we're stuck in the desert.
You won't get that update.
You will get the update. It just, well, I think our phones might overheat and then we might die. So you might not get that update. Driving through basically what's been a ghost town with a bunch of factories, and this was our planned gas stop. And I'm not even joking, I was starting to think that this gas station was not going to be here because nothing has been here. We've seen signs for everything.
This can't be a real town. It can't be real. Every building or home is boarded up.
Just for example, here's what most of the buildings look like.
Die old.
There's a local guy right there.
That's what the sign said.
So many of these homes are boarded up, and just like these aren't even the worst ones. We've seen way worse. So there appear to be even more like abandoned or pretty much abandoned and run down factories over here. It's just so interesting. I don't know if maybe this was like a mining town or some sort of factory town. It's just died over time or what. Update, Macy saw a lot of cars at the factory.
Trucks,
and
like it's active.
Yeah, and it seems like they produce minerals, something along those lines, but We're gonna look into it later because this is really interesting. We got our campground. We're out here in the Mojave desert area. About, I'd say probably like, what, maybe like an hour outside of Bakersfield. And it is very windy. It looks like it dies down after the sun goes down. We've even parked ourselves behind, like, I'm not kidding you, probably the most promising wind blocker out here. Most promising wind blocker out here, but dadgummit, it's still windy as heck. We're gonna have to cook food because we don't want to deal with parking in the dark. So we're gonna have to cook food against the wind. Anyway, pray for us. All right, it's so windy that we've stuck. We've had to point the Coleman against the wind, kind of, but it's really just all over the place. So, hoping this can heat up some hot dogs and chili. Macy might have to hold the propane.
It's like gonna hang off the side over here, so I'm just gonna support it while we cook. So we'll see.
It's too windy, so we've moved our kitchen. We got a temporary. Good night. It's still windy. We got a temporary setup down here. We're taking some cover behind the truck, and yeah, we probably won't be recording this much. So we'll see when we have a meal, maybe in the tent. Hope we don't get blown away. It's windy, but things are coming together well. Coleman's working down here, and we'll probably eat dinner in our seats. Gosh, it's windy.
We had success. We just have a couple hot dogs and some chili. But look at this awesome sunset that's happening. So despite the crazy wind, I mean, it's actually insane. Actually have a pretty enjoyable dinner tonight.
We're in the tent. It's incredibly windy and it was a mess, but it's almost 9 p.m. and we're gonna call it a night. Hopefully we don't get blown away. So, or that this top doesn't blow and close on us because it's intense. It's intense. It's
bad.
It's really hot in here because we have everything shut. So, oh my gosh. Yep.
Mila is like shaking underneath us.
Yep.
This is so scary.
Good night. This wind is insane. This isn't even close to the worst of it. Oh man, we're getting blown around. You can't tell, but this is brutal. Well, it's almost 10 p.m. and we ditched it. We couldn't do it. I'm not kidding you, just kept getting worse. Like, I don't know, but we were like holding the walls, and yeah, we could hear too many noises for comfort. So we're just gonna drive and see what we decide. We don't know if we're gonna be sleeping in the front seats or finding a room or what. It's 10:45 p.m. We just pulled into a hotel parking lot in a small town that we can't pronounce, but it looks like a small mountain town. Like, it's actually nice.
Looks pretty cute.
And we have some window shades up and the windows cracked, and we just are so glad that we're not being blown over by the wind, and hoping that we can rest a little bit. Good night. Hopefully for real this time.